It's tabletop time.
I'm Jazza.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Rob.
And it's reboot time, but it's also time for tabletop merch. 10% off for a limited time. It feels better when it's cheaper. It feels nicer. That's usually not the case. But for some reason it's better now. There's no logic to back that up. But your support means a great deal to us, and that's only 10% off till we move to the new studio. The code is TTT
100k.
100k. Thank you, Rob. Link is in the description.
And you know what? I find it so comfy because it's like being wrapped in the support of all the people who've been so good to us.
Oh.
So I love wearing my TTT.
Like our patrons.
Like our patrons.
Like our patrons in our new sexy Patreon scroll. Shout out Lockie for making it amazing and new and sexy.
And shout out to those God Kings.
And shout out to look at they get crowns.
Yeah.
Our God Kings who have crowns are the top tier patrons of our two Patreons, the Minis Patreon and the Roleplay Patreon. And then we have our our roleplay gods coming along in the scroll. We have like 4 God Kings.
I know, they're so
It's amazing.
Kingly.
And they make entire sentences of like they change their names to the messages they want to share.
I will say, I have to put this out because I need it to be on the record for me. I pitched Monarch instead of King, but we decided that God King sounded too cool.
It's too cool.
It sounds too cool. I was like, there should be monarchs.
I totally I get it. Being
No. You're a king in the modern sense of the
Yeah.
word. Like, just a king.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gender neutral, this king.
100%. 100%. All right, let's jump into some roleplay.
Okay.
It's not Code, it's Reboot. In the last episode of REBOOT.EXE, things got heated as Eve went and spoke to Incongruent, aka Johnny.
Continuity error. Brief continuity error. Everyone, we were so into the roleplay that Eve, in the previous episode, went to the bartender and asked after Incongruent.
Oh, yeah.
I had assumed, just because we're so used to the interchanging, that she'd asked for Johnny. We're going to assume that is what happened because the bartender does not know him as Incongruent. It was Johnny. So, yeah, something to be aware of. And if I'm on the ball, I'll pick you up on it next time. But we think Eve would have known to call him the correct name.
Aww. So Eve went to the bar and asked definitely for Johnny, not Incongruent, and spoke to Incongruent, and they had a really cool conversation which sort of resulted in her realising that as she comes to her sentience, she's got to pick her new name if she wants to, which is a really cool concept.
It's her choice.
Her model is Eve, but she is finding out who is she, which is really exciting.
She's more than just what she was made as.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Pro's been very keen into getting into his training, blah, 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 and then really wanted to attend this meeting, this dinner with Seb's family as an opportunity to find out more about his past and also reach new understandings of connections and things that he and Seb could find to reach their end goal of stealing New You and finding the people they care about. And in the end, that resulted in being called into a meeting with Seb's father, which was very intimidating, as he's the second richest person in the continent, and it could have gone in any direction. But basically, it turns out that it was a bit of a test of loyalty and sincerity, which Pro seems to have passed well, because he got free upgrades to claim later on.
You don't know what's happened.
Free surgery coupon.
Free surgery coupon.
Coupon for free great surgery and an invitation to the meeting. Speaking of an invitation to a meeting, Seb was invited to a meeting with a new character by the name of something like messy, something like, what is it?
Ragules.
Raggy. Ragules. Rags.
So you call him Rags.
Rags the dog. And he met with Rags the politician, believe it or not Rags the dog. We're in Rags the politician
That's
world.
another one shot.
God. And basically the information that came to light there, and correct me if I'm wrong here, was that the implication that Reboot or something like it could be connected to the Circle in terms of stealing people as test subjects, or...
I think there's been a little bit of, and I've seen it in the Discord too, a little bit of maybe confusion. Maybe I wasn't clear enough, or maybe a lot happened very quickly. But my take on it was that he had insinuated that the technology that Reboot had used, the older technology for the Gen 1 Reboot, which is a product where you get an implant installed and when you die, you wake up in a backup body, that technology has basically been sold or deliberately given away or stolen. It wasn't implied which, but it was like that gangers now have their hands on this. Big criminal organizations like the Circle now have their hands on this ability to basically die and come back to life in another body. And then that body's they don't have cloning technology in the slums, in the criminal organization, so that they might be stealing people for that purpose.
All right, let's jump into it.
Yes. So, the night passes without consequence, and the morning comes around. There is the usual...
That's a good time to interject. Destiny roll of 10. There was a great suggestion in the comments that...
To pull out all rolls?
That they use 20 as it's good for the player, 1 as it's bad, 10 as it's the most boring thing possible. Like the most neutral thing.
Yes. Not necessarily how I swing it, but it's close. It's close.
Yeah.
For me, it's kind of a gradient of good to bad for the player, but then 20 and 1 are kind of like critically good or critically bad.
Yeah. I guess the most boring is probably not like a great opportunity for storytelling.
But sometimes for me, it's not so much like... Because 10 is technically on the lower half. So for me, it's sometimes, is this easing towards a bad path or a good path? Just what tilt is it going on? It's 50-50 roll, it may as well be. And 10 would actually be a slightly towards the lower, because 11 up, 11 to 20 is the top up.
That makes sense.
But in this case, that is the night passes pretty much as it has been passing. There's a bit of conflict in the surrounding area, but nothing more than has been regular. And I will remind our characters that 6 days have now passed, and... certain people have dependencies on certain substances.
Didn't we get a fair bit of fusion from Ugly? How long?
You had one. You should have it written on your sheet. You had one needle with a certain amount of doses on it, which I believe is that you've got fusion. You've got 5 left.
And I need
one every 3 days. So you're now on 3.
This is 1 per week.
Is it?
Yep, it's 1 a week.
Oh, okay. You're good then. I thought you were in the next bracket.
I'm good. So how many do I have now?
1. You've used 1 more, so you've got 4.
Okay, cool.
Okay. You'll be in the
Took
next,
the claws out of that one.
You'll be in the next bracket very soon.
Didn't we give some to Songbird, or is that after that fact?
You did, and now her friend is dead, so she's unlikely to be sharing it.
No, I meant, does that count any to go?
Stop trying to take away my fusion, Jen.
I need it for a charity case in my soup kitchen. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, nah, they can pay for their own.
Yeah, bugger off
you're
my
just making another
fusion.
one.
It's
I
mine.
was fucking with him.
You bastard.
All right,
Fuck you.
no, I believe
Love you, bro.
I was very
Love you.
I was very strict in saying last time that the meeting with Rags was the day before the meeting. I was like, no, it has to be the day before. So this is the day of the meeting.
Okay.
So
Day of the meeting.
you wake up.
Isn't it evening?
This is the day of the meeting. So
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
you have an opportunity to basically do any minor upkeep things that you need to do before you reach that point in the story where you're off to do the thing that you probably won't. You know that you're not going to be likely able to like rapidly leave the meeting without it having disastrous social consequences.
Yeah.
So you know that once you go there, you're going to, if you're planning on doing things, I know there's some questions of subterfuge in some people's minds, and if you're going to do things and you need things to make that happen, now is the time to get prepared.
Subterfuge, meaning, sorry. Yes.
Stealthy roguiness.
Eve is contemplating whether or not she's going to basically spy for Incongruent or not. She hasn't decided. You guys don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have anything you need to do in the day? We can skip through it if you guys have nothing.
I'm keen to skip through it personally. Like, Pro would just do some
Pro's
training.
good?
Yeah.
What are you taking? This is important.
What am I taking to the meeting?
To the meeting. It's an evening meeting, and Seb, you get a push notification on your glasses that gives you an address in the city to go to. It says in the early afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah. And it says bring your friends.
Yep. When I left my meeting with Rags, I also told him to send me his information. Mm-hmm. Do I have anything?
He sends you some very surface level information that sort of backs up what he said. It's just there's nothing hard, but there's a few like police reports of a sort of a dead criminal, and then like seemingly the gang activity not having any impact on it. And then suddenly someone who had been reported missing had been spotted by security cameras in the slums acting with criminal organizations. So there's a few sort of incidental bits of information like that. But yeah, nothing has come through yet beyond the basics.
Okay.
No, you're all good.
Yeah, I
Okay.
take my phone with me.
I think it'd be the basics: laptop and phone. Like I don't travel around with much other than my tech, and then I will have taken Fusion recently. I will have just done my workout stuff or whatever. So yeah, no, that's me.
What are you wearing?
I'm dressing up. I'm trying to be as well presented as possible, and I'm trying to do it enthusiastically in a way I didn't do last time.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably did spend a good hour or two of the day trying to sort of manicure myself to be presentable, not stand out too much, but also show that I'm actually learning and making an effort, which I'm hoping they'll notice.
All right. So the time toward the meeting comes. And have you mentioned that you have an important thing coming up to anyone that you might regularly operate with, such as Conrado or Zhang?
I doubt it.
Wait, what do you mean?
Just that you have an important thing on.
I would have briefly probably mentioned it, saying,
Yep.
Conrado,
Not
you'll be in
available.
charge while
Yeah, that you
while
guys
I'm
have
absent.
got something
Yeah.
on. And okay, cool.
And yeah, Zhang, we just have been like, we're not available this day, so don't come.
Okay, so that's all you've said to her? Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so it moves on towards the early afternoon, and at this point, Seb gets a his glasses start ringing. Bring.
Hello.
Sebastian, hello, it's Raguel. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Have you given any thought to my proposal? I know it was a bit vague.
I'm still looking over some of the information you sent me. It does seem a bit insubstantial.
Yeah, well, yes, it's a highly... Bringing down the biggest organizations in the country isn't exactly going to be easy. They're squeaky clean. They've got very good lawyers, and look, they're great at this. We really need someone on the inside, and I just think with your parents, that the relationship between your companies and your predilection for helping people in need, that perhaps you are the right man for the job.
So what do you want me to do?
Just gather any information you can, and in particular, if you could perhaps, look, if I said Schmorperet Smesh Miamage, would you take my drift?
I'm not going to work against my family.
Not your family, of course not, I understand that, but they're not the ones that I'm investigating. It's, it's Reboot Corp. I mean, you know they're trying to push your family out anyway, right? It's probably news to you.
That's a theory.
Yeah, so... Anyway, is that a yes? We could do a lot of good.
I'll see what I can do.
Cool. Okay. Sounds great. On your way into the city, if you can see what you can do, there'll be someone waiting at the Palace Pub.
For?
Just to give you something.
Okay. And then I'm going to hang
You
up.
hang up? Cool. Okay. And I guess the time comes for you to leave. Heading out?
Yep.
Does Eve say, woo?
Eve gives a quiet word.
I pack my phone and I pack a burrito.
Burrito.
Just travel, just in case.
A burrito.
And a burrito.
You never know who will need convincing or easing out of an emotional state.
Yeah, kiss everything.
I'll swing by the palace.
Cool.
Pub on the
You
way.
swing by the Palace
Do you
Pub.
require a burrito?
With a very short interchange, you sort of head inside. The bouncer nods at you, and you see a female bespoke sitting there. You recognize them to be bespoke immediately by their unusual hair color. And they're just sitting there and they see you come in, and as soon as they see you, before you get a chance to say really anything, they stand up from their table and leave it and just leave the pub. But there's a small, they've left a small box on the table and they just walk out.
Am I with him when this has happened?
If you want him to be.
I probably
Yeah.
I said I probably would have gone in by myself and been like,
Okay.
I'll be back.
Yep.
You said something about a detour or whatever. Okay. Yep.
Well, prior to you guys going into the palace, you will have to go through a security checkpoint. So, if you're going, I'll say you've gone ahead alone, just a little bit separate, and they're going to follow you up.
Can I have perception to see what I see
At where?
with him going in?
You see him going to a pub.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
So, what do you do?
What's in the package?
You didn't take it and open it there?
Oh, I'll open it there, but what's in it?
It's basically a small box, and inside it you see what looks like a very small computing chip, actually a string of about 4 of them. You imagine that they're listening devices or hacking devices of some description. And there's a note. I'll say there's a note in there that says I think the common folk should have a seat at the table too.
I'll take them, but I'm going to be very careful not to touch them with.
Yep. Anything. With anything.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Now you head to the checkpoint. Now the checkpoint before Palace Pub. Destiny roll.
Oh!
You're freaking kidding me.
One for our Patreon and podcast listeners.
Someone might not be attending the meeting today.
That was unexpected.
That was very not cool.
You approach. A large city security drone stands watch. It tilts its head from left to right in great arcs.
Of course it's going to be a fucking one.
As it does, you notice graffiti all over this drone. It looks like taggers, young kids in the local area, have taken a bit of a game of cat and mouse to see if you can like dash across the street and tag the drone and get out of line of sight before it kind of shoots you. It doesn't seem like it shoots, but before it kind of like batons you with a shock baton or something. And it eyes you both as you approach towards the sort of rough corrugated iron bashed together sheet that has been thrown over a canal to cross to the
When you say you
city
both.
side. You both meaning you. Well, Seb is already in the Palace Pub, so you both is Eve and Pro.
I am assuming I noticed this freezing
You
my
notice
tracks.
it look at you. It's panning around, but this is kind of normal for security patrols. Like you've gone through these checkpoints.
All
before.
right, I guess this is my cue, Eve. You go ahead, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for your assistance. Have a good day, anyone listening. And I turn around and like swing the other way.
Cool. And Eve, what do you do?
I'll approach.
You walk up. It doesn't regard you.
I walk through.
You walk through.
Have I got a way of communicating with her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have said you would have.
I'll have your
phone
phone
numbers.
number.
Yeah, I'll give you a call. I'm like, I'm gonna just check my ID, and I'm gonna go through a different checkpoint. I might have to meet at the building if I can.
Understood. Does he have like any other type of security system, or is it just the droid?
This is current. Well, there's the checkpoint. There's a digital checkpoint which you cross every time.
Can I
Basically
see?
scans your ID as you go through.
Does it come up with like a?
It's a full digital security and surveillance cordon that scans everyone. The security drone is just for deterrence.
Okay. All right. I'll send you back a text message that says, "Let me know when you approach the checkpoint."
I might have to go through a different one.
Yep.
I said back. Meanwhile, I duck around the corner out of sight of anything that might notice me, and I investigate my ID device.
Make a hacking check.
Yep. Challenge level.
Challenge level 4. You get 3 successes.
Yep.
You are dashing around the corner, and you know it's going to take you a bit of time. You probably spend 5 minutes sort of pulling out your equipment and looking into it. And make an environmental perception check. Challenge level 2.
How? This was a question I was going to ask.
Not yet.
So my perception is still bad.
Not in almost a week.
Challenge level 2.
Yep. Oh, you only have one dice?
I have 1 dice.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck. Do you have Destiny?
You should have one.
I have 1 Destiny.
Well, you can roll it and choose, or you can just fail.
If I'm using a Destiny, I would have used it on the hacking check.
So you are imperceptive at this stage, and your head is down. I'd say that in this moment, and even the way you've behaved, correct me if I'm wrong, Pro has almost gone into a paranoid state because nothing signaled that, like, you know, the thing looked at you and then you just were like, I need to check my ID, and you've kind of run into an alleyway, pulled your laptop out, and you're like looking into it, rah. You don't hear.
Oh, no. If you roll another 1, I will be very upset with you, Mr. David.
No, but you know what you're going to need to roll?
What?
An unarmed combat check.
Cool. Oh, yeah, really cool, Dave.
What?
Just real cool.
He doesn't
Rated
control the
Dave.
dice?
Maybe he should a little bit.
This will all make
Just
sense
saying.
very soon.
All right, go for it.
No, you roll. There'll be no
after me.
reflexes. Yeah.
Boom.
You get
1.
1 success.
Great. Challenge of 1, Dave. See how you do with that, buddy.
4.
Yeah. Cool.
You're keeping it at a 1 success?
Yeah.
Pro does not see the piece of pipe swing down from behind and smack him over the back of the head and shoulder. You get I'm going to say a serious injury inflicted upon you.
That's
Your head, the back of your head splits, blood runs down, and you hit the pavement. And for a moment, you're not unconscious, but for that, like, you're basically, for this moment, completely out of it. And in that moment, there is a scurry, a scuffle, rapid movement, things torn from you, and then feet into the alleyways away. You look around, and your equipment is gone. Your fake ID is gone, and you lay on the ground. Your headphones have been torn off you as well. You lay on the ground bleeding. Okay. Fusion. Fusion.
I wouldn't have carried it with me. I would have taken it.
I'll let you leave. A lot of your possessions are still home.
But I
the
said
stuff you
my
took
laptop,
tonight.
phone, and
and that all gets taken.
my nice outfit
And
and
now-
my fake ID.
Well, your nice outfit is covered in blood and dirtied in the dirt. And I'll tell you why this happened. Because the Destiny dice was rolled as a 1. And this crossing was going to go bad.
Yeah.
You, with that knowledge, chose to avoid the crossing,
Yeah.
which was metagaming.
Okay.
Was it? No, I thought it was based on what.
No, because
Pro
you didn't
noticed.
know. No, because you never rolled a perception check. We just rolled a 1 on the Destiny, and then you bugged out and were like, I'm avoiding this checkpoint. So all I'm saying is that's fine.
Okay, no.
But the crossing went bad.
Yeah,
So
okay.
instead I took it as, well, if it's not the robot,
Yeah, no.
something else
I
happens
hear
bad.
you.
So
I completely accept it. I didn't realize I was metagaming, but I can understand.
Did you guys feel like I'm that kind
No,
of?
I think that's totally fair.
I thought it
my head,
subconsciously happened a little bit.
Yeah, no,
You were
I-
subconsciously like, I've got a mid damage
Yeah, and I'll
control.
go
It was
around.
damage control.
I'll go- yeah,
It
no,
wasn't like bad
100%.
metagame. It was just you were damage
No, but
controlling.
all this bad shit happens, and all my head goes is, this is an interesting story, Ellen.
Yeah.
So I don't mind. Like I
just
get
took
it.
that as no matter what happens, this crossing is going to go bad.
Yeah.
And if that combat roll,
Hey, look,
combat roll is bad.
That's a 1 result, so I'm on board.
That's a
Okay,
big foil.
so I stumble out of the alleyway, like coughing and spluttering and bruised
Requiring
and wounded.
assistance.
I'm like, yeah, I require assistance.
You vaguely look up, make a perception check. You two. There's no challenge level. It's just do you
How long has it
succeed or
been?
not. You succeed. It's probably only been like 5 minutes. You're probably coming out of the pub. You've looked at your stuff. I'm going to get the two of you two to make a perception check. You look up and you see the form of a large security bot maybe 30 meters away from you. Further on, your vision hazes and blurs as you see towards the Palace pub.
I run to Uglies.
I love roleplay. So Pro turns. Blood.
Rob was making a perception check. He would have been.
Yeah.
There wouldn't have been much
got
inside.
3.
I guess you could have walked out or
No,
whatever.
they were probably walking out the front looking, but they are 150 meters and a canal away from you.
Did they notice me?
What did you get?
Perfect
4.
eyesight.
What did you get? 4. You notice him. You notice a figure. Probably you do recognize it as Pro. Although, for a moment, maybe not. He has no headphones. His hood is down. But you see he looks to be
We didn't notice
dazed.
that he had his fancy
Well,
clothes.
yeah, he runs. I run off, but I'm like limping and like clearly.
Yeah, and you see him just run off.
Not the person you saw 5 minutes ago. So
I got 3.
But I mean, I also wouldn't see you.
You see a figure dazed and woozy in the slums running off. You recognize it's probably Pro. But it seems very strange.
All right, well, I'm going to go back across the border and chase him, send Eve a text message being like, I think something happened to him.
Destiny roll.
Oh, fuck off!
Oh, come on.
it was another fucking one.
That's another one!
We'll have a really important meeting to attend, Dave. Why are you doing this to us?
Oh
Jen
my
just
God.
threw away the dice.
So,
Problem solved.
Seb, you cross. Are you hasty? Are you feeling like an sense of urgency?
Power walking.
Power walking. As you cross the river and get to the threshold, halt, citizen! And the drone snaps and turns towards you.
I meet its eyes.
And it looks at you and it says, there has been violence in the immediate vicinity. A citizen has been injured by gang warfare. You are not permitted to leave the safety of the city.
How much do I know about the programming of these robots? Like, they have like facial recognition. Yeah? How much do they know about me?
It's going to follow its... You would know that they would follow their doctrines, and the police are very ruthless. Like, it's the sort of thing of, even if you're rich, the robot, if there was a human there, the robots would put you in a cell, and then you would be like the sort of angry rich person being like, you don't know who I am, like, you don't know what you've done.
So, I'm a scholar. I'm assuming I have some type of doctorate.
Yeah, sure. You have a
What would
doctorate.
they know about that?
It
Would it
would-
just
would
appear as
not
a
care.
doctor?
You would just be
Sebastian?
citizen.
Bullshit, that's annoying. No,
You
that's your
would also be like citizen.
It's a one, Rob. I think you
Yeah,
got to
okay.
take the
So
beating as much
basically,
as I did.
It stands in
I
front
was
of you.
contemplating trying to bullshit and being like, I'm a doctor, I want to go help the poor person.
It's a robot, not a drone, though. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a robot.
It's just going to
I mean, you can attempt it.
It's just going to follow its protocols, though.
Yeah.
It'll say, you mean if you said that, it would say, your resource as a doctor must be preserved for the citizens of the city. Your value is too great.
My medical robot, Eve, would be able to provide assistance. Can I say that to him?
That's a persuasion.
Yeah, make a persuasion check. Challenge level 4.
Can I call Pro's phone?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
It gets hung up on. It doesn't ring out.
So,
it just
but it
gets hung
answers
up
and
on.
hung up?
No, just hung
Oh,
up
just
before it
straight,
can pick
yeah.
up.
Okay.
What's my challenge level?
4.
1, 2, 3,
That was
4,
very
5.
good.
Cool. I am not interested in the movements of robots. Citizens, stay put or return to the city. That means Eve can walk past.
Yes.
He literally doesn't care about
Said-
what Eve does.
Drones are good. Whatever.
She's property.
Yeah.
Can you go see to him?
Understood. No. Go past him.
And you head past. Citizen, my attention is diverted. Looking after you. Return into the city boundary, or I will return you.
Smooth. Yeah, I'll walk back in.
Okay. You cross the little canal bridge, and it does that horrifying thing where its head spins 180 degrees in like half a second, and then its body twists around like a second later.
Yeah. The kitchen's on the closer to the edge of the city than Ugly's. It's sort of like on the way, right?
Uglies is probably in between you
In
and
between.
the kitchen now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we're
It's
closer
to go to
Ugly's.
Uglies.
All right.
Yep.
I'm just running to Ugly's.
I'm gonna chase after Pro. Do I catch him? Probably not, but
You're frail, aren't you? Mm-hmm. No, you don't. You can't run. You
Then-
literally can't run.
I would assume he would go to the soup kitchen first.
That's your assumption?
For Ugly
Okay,
is
so Eve heads the
100%.
No, because you would assume that...
She's just made that call.
Yeah, no, okay.
Yeah, it's unusual for you to have run to
fair enough.
Ugly.
That's
so,
true.
Divergent paths. And
Okay.
Seb, I guess you go sit at the bar and have a drink.
I mean, you can still go.
You will either, I'm going to be nice. We've had 2 crit fails and say you were concerned about troubles that could occur and you've left like an hour early. So
Okay.
you don't have ages, but you do have time.
Can I? Because obviously, I mean, I would try and call the phone as well. Mm-hmm. If I don't get through. Can I send it a text message? Mm-hmm. Something along the lines of like, you've hit an associate of Ugly. If we find out who you are, you'll face the consequences.
Yeah, you can send that.
And just hope that they pray and read it.
That could be a Destiny roll reaction. That I may
You can-
regret
You asked-
having
give me my
said
dice
that.
back, Jen.
Not that one you threw. Different one. Here, use
Are
mine.
you really asking for
Gone.
this? They want a Destiny roll up. They're asking for this Destiny roll.
Well, that's it. That's something
just play it.
specifically-
You would specifically want a Destiny roll.
Sure.
Well,
Confirming it for the record.
Yeah,
What are the
yeah.
odds?
That's how this game works. Good and bad.
A 3.
That's
Great.
still bad.
Okay, I'm
That's
sorry,
really
guys. I
bad.
take it back. I'm really sorry.
That's really, really bad.
That was a
At
bad
least it wasn't a
idea.
1.
It's not the worst. It's still very bad.
Probably just
Okay.
crush yourself.
But it's not a 1, so we're good. Anyway, so I'm running to Uglies. Jen's running to
You
the
get
kitchen.
a text message back that says, "We'll return the belongings. Meet us and a location." That's it.
Hang
Any
on.
replies are not
Text
answered.
message back from who?
I would say you locked
your
down the
phone.
border.
Which would be highly locked.
He sent in a text. I'm assuming you can just respond without unlocking it, like you can on modern
sure.
phones. But you can only respond to the
Okay.
the text.
I would just respond back saying, well, the shit you've pulled is locked down the border. I ain't going anywhere.
If it says that's your problem, it's gone in half an hour. That's it.
I'll send it to Eve.
Cool. So we're going to the most important man of the hour, Pro, who is stumbling, woozy. Seriously injured means you'll die without medical assistance. That's seriously injured. So you need medical assistance.
Well, I'm going to Uglies.
You stumble and you trip and you make it. You basically get ignored by everyone. And
Where's Seb gone?
Seb's gone.
He's in the city having his fucking cocktails. Trust them.
Green screen?
Trust
He's
them.
looking for the dice.
Is he? Don't worry. We'll
So,
that dice is cursed anyway, Rob. Don't worry about it. Anyway, we'll continue.
she said you
I
should have used
stumble
that
in.
destiny point.
I should have used that Destiny.
All right. So you
I
stumble.
didn't realize it was worthy of Destiny, but I was just I was being honest role playing. You know, I was just like checking the ID and like
You stumble
yeah.
into Uglies. And guess what? Is it back?
Yeah, we found it.
Okay.
It's
go
in
on.
prison though.
One last roll.
Redeemer.
You stumbled into Uglies and get an 18.
Oh, look at that.
There we go. Eventually,
All right.
statistics.
The dice is
evens out.
on probation. good behavior. Yeah.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
People are there. In fact, the first person there that you see is Zhang, who turns to you as you stumble in bleeding,
Yeah.
and she signs towards you.
I at this point, Pro has been like, look, he's still a teenager, and this was the biggest moment in his life coming up, and it was taken from him. So he was crying and spluttering on the way to this place and falling apart, and like, it's not too late. It's not too late. Like he's just like he's bleeding and woozy, and it doesn't fucking matter. I am doing whatever I can, whoever I know, whatever it takes, and I clamor in and I'm like, I don't understand you. I'm sorry, Zhang. I need help. I need someone. I think I need Ugly's help, but I can't. I haven't spoken to him since last time.
She grabs you by the face, like holds your face steady, and then she takes a half step back and she signs one of the only signs you've picked up. She signs alive. So she can, if you picked up dead and alive, because she does the thing with you, and she signs alive, and then she
I'm like, no, they're okay.
and then she presses her finger into you, and then she signs alive again, and then she grabs you by the hand and starts walking you into the back room.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Oh, she's protecting me.
And You get taken into the back rooms where medical business is done, just in time to see Ugly leaning out of a room. He looks like he's come out of a steam room. He's like very sweaty. He's got a wet towel over his shoulder and he's leaning casually. He's got quite a few wounds on him that are healing rapidly.
Yeah.
And he leans out and he's like, well, bloody hell, mate. Look what the cat dragged in.
I had a really, really important event I was attending, and I can't explain much more than to say, look, I know we left off in a not great place as far as our relationship is concerned. I feel like our motives are aligned. I think our methods are a little misaligned, but that can be worked on. I just need your fucking help, man.
He walks straight over to you with oozing masculinity and power in a confident strut. And
Sweat.
he grabs you quite forcefully with one arm around the back. And then before you can protest, he lifts you into a bridal carry. And
a bridal carry was
like wife in arms
Through the threshold of the
carry.
door.
Okay.
And then he takes and he because you're stumbling, you're bleeding out, and he just walks you straight into the room and lays you on the thing on the bed, and Zhang and him immediately get to work, starting to basically stitch up your head.
It's getting hot in
The door is shut.
Yeah.
The room is quiet. Do you continue sort of monologuing, or do you?
I think
Ugly hasn't said a word.
I think Pro would just be like, I gotta get into the city. They jacked me, man. I wasn't even looking. Fucking sometimes I wonder why I defend scum, but I am the fucking scum. But
Shh, mate. It's all right, mate. I get it, but. And he like...
They took my ID, man.
He softly dabs blood off your face as Zhang is working. Her dexterous metal fingers are rapidly starting to pull stitches in your head. They actually inject some anesthetic, so it's like quickly numbed, and you're like... It's all just happening to you. Yeah. And he's just like, but mate, I told you this would happen. How long's it been? A week?
I'll get there, man. Honestly, like, just give me time.
And he like looks very sincere, and then he says, yeah, but mate, not if you don't harden up.
I'm working on that. That's my only fucking objective right now. I get it. Shit. Great load of progress I've made.
Well, look, mate. You got to look after each other. We got to be like family out here, and that's what we do. We look after each other. And I guess you chose a different family.
No, it's not that. I like you guys. I think we can work together. What happened last time we were around each other, there's a lot to it, but it was too much for me. I think it might still be. I don't know when it wouldn't be, but we can figure it out. There's a middle ground somewhere. Not everyone has to get ugly, but you can work towards the same goal.
They all do, mate. They all do. Here's the thing. Not everyone has to pull the trigger, but you got to have the balls to be able to do it.
Yeah, I know.
And it doesn't have to be pulling the trigger. I mean, look at your mate who set you up with that fake ID. You don't think he's got blood on his hands?
Everyone has blood on their hands.
What do you think those people do with that fake ID that he makes? I mean, come on, look. You can be blind to it.
No, I know.
Good. Well, look, I'm glad you came to us first. We're here for you, but, next time, it might not be that way.
Yeah, I know. I was going to come back and talk to you. I just didn't want to be fucking weak and...
And look where that got you.
Yeah, well...
Hey, look, you're not dead. And he claps you on the shoulder. You're not bloody dead, are you? So what do we got to get you to?
The city. I just got to get into the city.
For what?
Personal reasons.
Oh, come on. You'd be dead if it wasn't for me. What do you got to do that's so important?
I got to find out about my past from people who have have connections.
Well, why didn't you just ask me? I've already...
No, it's more than that.
Well, has it got to do with that pretty boy you're hanging out with?
Yeah.
And come on, spill the beans. All this is happening while they're doing medical. They're cleaning you up, stitching you up, doing all that.
There's a meeting I was invited to. I wasn't invited to it, but I asked to be later and spoke to Seb's father, who you probably know has a reputation. And I convinced him that we care enough about the same thing for him to allow me to come.
All right. So it's a big, important meeting at the city.
Yeah, with big, important people. And I just want to make sure I'm dressed as the belle of the ball to make a great impression.
Hey,
I
Jen.
say, like, looking at the, like, bruised, bloody, like, hands and, like...
Hey, Zhang, he says in his accent. Do you know any morticians that could dress this guy up?
Good.
And this little on her helmet in like little LED strips, you just see this little like emoji go boom, with like with a sad face and a little tear on it, and then like fade out and disappear. Which you haven't seen her do before.
Yeah.
But it seems that she communicates differently with Ugly to other people. And then Ugly says, "All right, mate. Well, how are we going to go forward from here?"
I think I just need an ID, but I can owe you another job and a chance to prove myself.
You going to do what it takes?
Sure fucking hope so.
And what if it takes a life?
I think that depends on the life, but I'll certainly be willing if it needs to happen.
Willing is good. Willing and able is better.
Well, that's, like I said, something I've been working on. I say, sort of eyeing Zhang awkwardly, not knowing if Zhang has told Ugly.
She shouldn't have. I paid her not to.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I can sort you out. Where are you meeting up with your pals?
I just got to get through the checkpoint, and then it's just at, and I give a rough sort of location for where I'm heading in the city.
So you were crossing at the palace, yeah?
Yeah.
Good. All right. You're going to have to trust me on this one because it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable.
Sure.
Cool. All right. Well, I hope you got a good constitution, kid. Because this one, and then he holds your hand, like he holds your wrist down to the table and he like firmly presses in on your upper arm pretty quickly. He says, "You're going to need a lot of painkillers." And then Zhang pulls out a needle and basically sticks it into your wrist and injects you.
Okay.
And he's like, "So, good luck, but you ain't gonna make it without passing out unless you're a little bit cocktailed up." And
At least you know what's happening.
I'm
this
going
time.
to attend this meeting bloody and like...
all right, so like I said, it's gonna be uncomfortable. Do you need me to message anyone? Johnny's got Eve's number.
Yeah, Eve.
All right, I'll
Tell
sort
her
him
I
out.
require assistance. I say woozily.
Hey, where are you meeting them?
And I sort of say the address.
Okay, cool. And then Pro becomes increasingly woozy as the strength of the immediate injection of a significant, possibly a slight overdose of painkillers that were injected into you overtakes your system. And you vaguely have that like cinema, like woozy, montage of being effectively picked up by the two of them, taken into a back room you've never been into before. A sliding door goes up, you go down more stairs, you enter into an underground like
warehouse. There are guards with guns, multiple of them, probably about 4 or 5 guards. Work is being done. Things are being loaded and unloaded. You're semi-gently, but not entirely, thrown into a box. A very tight box, a cold box, a steel box lined with foam. It appears to be some kind of pharmaceutical box or maybe body transfer. And suddenly a steel lid is enclosed on you and you hear the sounds of things being drilled shut.
I'm like, fucking great.
And
I
then
hope I can trust this guy.
you woozily experience the sensation of being lifted up and loaded onto something.
Yeah.
Eve, the phone rings. Do you answer?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Eve, how's it going, love? Johnny gave me your number. It's Ugly.
Hello, Ugly.
Yeah, your mate he got done in. Pro, he's kind of, he's not in a good way.
Does he require assistance?
He'll need, let's say, aftercare. We gave him the first aid he required. But yeah, he's going to need someone with him to make sure he doesn't split his stitches, maybe. Anyway, he's given you an address. He'll be waiting for you there. Do you have a drill?
Do I?
No.
No.
There
No, but, like, I
there'd
have a
probably be one at
medical-
the soup kit for setting up.
yeah.
Probably have a drill at the kitchen.
Like a rivet gun?
Like,
or...
but no, like imagine like just a hand drill. Just
Okay. I do not, but I can acquire one.
Cool. All right. Well, head to that address in about 20 minutes and you'll have your boy.
Understood.
Cool.
Hang on, friend.
Does he have your number?
Eve does.
Yeah, he does. He's called me before.
Oh, yeah, he is too.
Phone brings. Hello, beautiful.
Ugly.
Seems your boys come and spend a bit of time with me.
I'm sure that will be enlightening.
Yeah, well, anyway, look, needless to say, hanging out with you isn't exactly doing him the best favours, but at least he knew where to come when he was actually in trouble. So he'll be all right, and he'll be seeing you shortly if you just head to this address.
Is it the address?
Same
Sends the
address,
address of your parents.
And it's in the city.
Oh, it's not the parents' place.
No,
is it?
it's in the
Okay.
city.
Yeah.
It's actually in the no man's land.
the meeting address. Okay.
Yeah, no, he sends you the address that you guys are just a random rendezvous in no man's land.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'll hang up.
Cool.
Can I call Conrado?
You may.
Yeah. I would like, I mean, I don't want to really roleplay the conversation, so I want to get to the important stuff, but
This is important.
I want to send him to the address that they sent me on the phone.
Okay.
Yep. I'd be like, can you get a gang, like a group of people and go to this address to recover some goods that were stolen? I'll pay you overtime.
It's gonna leave the shop pretty unattended, boss.
Fine people.
On this short notice, we got half an hour.
Yep.
Can I rock up at this
I
point?
don't think. Yeah. And your robot's kind of going crazy, rooting around for something.
I can lock up.
Yeah, yeah.
right?
You gonna trust the robot to lock up?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I like overtime. No worries. Destiny dice. Five.
Oh, this dice is banned. This dice is burning. I'm going to destroy it.
And Conrado leaves.
Podcast.
A torch is waiting
a
for that
5.
dice. We've all seen it.
I did say get a group. I said get a group.
You did. Conrado leaves.
Oh, boy.
He's
All
gonna
right.
lose the arm. Pain.
Okay.
You head on to the rendezvous point, I believe. That makes sense.
Do I find
Yep.
a drill?
You do find a drill.
Yes, it. And I'll close up.
I'm not going to make you destiny roll for that.
You find no drill. Oh no! Wait, what do we do?
You head to the address. You can pretty quickly cross the border. That's fine. Do you head there early or do you wait the timer? Seb, Rob,
For what?
for the meeting that Ugly sent you.
with him.
Yeah, we're all heading to the actual meeting.
Yeah, no, I'll head there.
So, but he
Early
said
on
about
time.
20 minutes. Do you wait 20 and go there, or do you just go there immediately?
No, I'll go there immediately.
Okay. All right. So, you get there probably 5 minutes after the call, and nothing happens for about 10 minutes. Until you see a building nearby that's an abandoned building. The door opens and 4 shapes, human figures, shuffle out, mixed ages and genders. They walk out, barely paying you any attention, and they head towards what looks like a underground maintenance shaft to go down towards the canals in the area. And they pop the lid, and then they climb down into the underground.
In the address that I had to go to.
Yeah, it's within the area of the address.
I'll wait until these two.
Cool. Okay, probably 5 minutes later, Eve rocks up. Cool.
Hello, Seb.
A drill?
Ugly said that we required one.
In the distance, you hear a and you see a a spray of water in one of the canals shoot by, and then the sound of an engine slowing, but it's below line of sight and probably 100 meters away. You just hear the like a boat, and then the lulling of an engine idling, and then shortly after as it drives off again.
I look in the canal.
Cool. And you head down to the canal, and nothing happens for a little bit of time. But the canal, the address you were given was a bridge. Literally, it said go to a bridge. So you're standing on the bridge. And then approximately 2 or 3 minutes later, you just see, with the flow of the water that heads down the canal, this metal looking, it's full of foam and stuff, bobbing, humanoid shaped thing bobbing down the water towards you.
Can I get it? Wait for it, bring it in.
Can I help?
I say with combined effort, I'm going to actually get you to make a strength roll. Challenge level is only going to be a... Challenge level, are you trying to bring it up, or there's probably steps that go down but you'll get wet? What's the approach?
I don't want to bring it up, but can I keep it still enough to use the drill on it?
We'll say a 2 to hold it still. And you make it. Okay, so you hold it still, and then you get the drill.
This is a far more tense prep to attend than I expected.
And you don't need to undrill it. You don't need to roll. You take screws off. There's almost a pop of pressurized air within it, and then the lid shoots off, and you see the pro laying in a container.
Fuck, where I'm... Jesus. Ugly knows how to do his shit. Oh, oxygen. Yeah, that's right. I was like, can I get some help getting out of here? Because I'm a bit woozy.
I'll help him out.
Cool. You guys help him out?
Stumble out.
All well and good to get you into the city, but how the hell do we get you out when we're done?
We'll figure...
And now, you have no ID in the city.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
Let's hope
but
Conrado pulls through.
Dear narrator, what is my physical and mental capabilities at this point?
So I'm going to say the drugs are basically balancing. You can play slightly out of it, just role play slightly out of it. But what it's effectively doing now that it's worn off a bit is it's numbing the pain from your serious injury enough that you can still take part in tonight's proceedings.
Yep.
But it hasn't in any way cured your injury.
No.
However, you have received the medical treatment that stops you dying.
Okay, so I
you
have
do
a level
neg 3 to your dice.
Okay.
What is he
And
dressed in?
Oh, he's what is he dressed in?
Neg 3 to all physical based dice checks is the specification in the rules.
I don't think that it is, but I'll accept it.
It is. It's all physical based dice checks.
Okay.
So
that doesn't make much sense
perception
to me,
and
but okay.
deception or whatever.
Okay.
Persuasion.
I feel like that would be equally impacted by an injury of that level, but it doesn't matter. I don't mind. We'll do it your way, and we'll have a look later.
Okay. I'll check. Anyways,
So, you're injured.
what do I look like?
Your face is about 5 shades wrong for you, and you're covered in makeup. It looks like you have been done up by a funeral director rather than a makeup artist.
Yeah.
And what are you wearing?
It'd been so close. They wouldn't have had time to.
You're wearing a pair of Ugly's jeans
Oh.
Just like 3
Okay.
sizes too big.
and like an open white collared shirt
Okay.
that's clean and clearly one of Ugly's.
Okay.
Smells of his cologne.
We have I'm sorry to be a hindrance, friends, but we have a very important meeting to attend. I don't want to hold you up or anything.
I'm going to pull you over and sit you down on the bench and just check you over, make sure you're okay. And then I'm going to pull out the burrito.
Like, oh, thank God. He's eating the burrito. Like,
When did you get a burrito?
she said she's bringing a burrito. She bought a burrito. It's all connected, people.
Do you require a burrito?
Fuck yeah. Oh, God. So, first thing you need after a hangover, right?
Oh my
It
god.
has become a new part of my medical equipment.
So, look. Yeah, it's like part of your stock up. That's amazing.
The first aid kit flops open, there's bandages and just a burrito roll up with the bandages.
I'd buy that first aid kit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
100%.
I say to Seb, look, dude, I was trying to keep it together before, but was more nervous than I'd been in my entire life. Now I know I'm off on the wrong foot, so please let me know what the hell to expect in some high upper class meeting bullshit, because I don't know what I'm in for or what I'm supposed to be or do. I just don't want to screw this up, man.
Keep quiet unless spoken to.
Okay. What
believe-
about, I say, indicating to myself, cringing.
We don't have time to fix it.
Yeah, okay.
Would his clothes fit me better than my clothes would fit him?
It would be an improvement on. He would fit your clothes better because Ugly is
Huge.
muscular and large. It's
I'm
like
a
you're
weedy-
wearing your dad's clothes.
Yeah.
You're like 14 wearing your dad's clothes.
I'm a weedy teenager.
Nah, I'm not going to do it. He can wear the funny clothes.
You know,
Just
Ugly's
say you
clothes.
had a
And
bad,
I thought you were benevolent.
just say you had a bad night out.
Okay.
It'll work well with the kind
Sure.
of drug-induced cocktail you
Great.
had.
All right. So, you are sneaking to the rendezvous point, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Now, you two don't have to sneak. You do now.
Yeah.
But you are a slummer. So you get +1 dice against surveillance technology. And also, you have your chip. Scrambling chip is still implanted in you, which gives you another dice against avoiding detection by security systems in the city. And the challenge level in these outer districts is a 3. The challenge level as you get closer to your prize, from here to your rendezvous point with Seb's dad, is a 3. As you get closer and closer to big value stuff, the security gets tighter and tighter.
So, base 3, plus plus reflex, plus my skill points, plus 1 because I'm a slummer,
Yep. And 1 from your scrambler chip.
and 1 for my scrambler chip. Okay, gotcha. And -3. for
Did
my-
you check and it was -3 to all?
I haven't checked, but it's physical because it's stealth.
Ah, okay, yeah, no
yeah.
worries. Yep. Challenge level is 3.
Okay. Fuck.
Advantage?
It's too late.
It's fine, because what do we call this, guys?
Failing forward.
Failing forward. Alright.
A lot of failing forward tonight, people.
You make your way to the rendezvous point, which is it's a workshop run by your father's corporation, Ambin Pharmacy. It's not really a workshop; it's like a showroom. It's quite nice, but it's currently closed. You head towards the entry, and things seem good. You've been sneaking; the cameras haven't been noticing you. And as you get to specifically his father's facility, the cameras ping. You don't know this, but alarms go internally. You get detected by the higher level security of your father's company, and you enter the front door. Oscar walks up to you, rather alarmed, and he says, "What have you done? I thought you had fake ID. What's going on?"
I was was attacked on the way in, as fate would have it.
Yes, it's horribly violent out there, but the police have been automatically notified. They'll be coming to pick up an illegal non-citizen.
Surely you have some sway in these situations.
I have a solution for tonight, but you're not going to like it, Seb.
What?
And he goes back behind and talks to a drone, and he says, "There's a clause, a quiet clause, but it would mean, well, trust on your behalf that I wasn't going to abuse it."
It's a quiet clause.
Like a clause in city law, basically, that he can manipulate. He's deliberately avoiding it. You don't really know what he's talking about.
I'm gonna look at you. I'm here for you, not me.
I'm here for you.
This facility, it's lucky we're here. We were going to meet here, and then I was actually going to get you dressed up, and it seems like that's very appropriate. But it's a showroom, and we have some of our technology for, well, we show what we utilize in Reboot and our product crossovers. To cut to the chase, the clause is you're in one location where, let's say, non-registered human forms are allowed.
Gotcha.
But it would mean being marked as company property.
Wow. It's not entirely a new experience for me, to be honest. What's this mean besides tonight?
Well, you would be implanted with a marker, and legally, well, I guess we would own you. Legally, of course.
I look at Seb
It's your call.
with my fearful 19-year-old eyes. Shit.
My little listening devices, are they active?
No.
Thank God.
No.
As in Seb hasn't heard it.
Because I got the little bugs from Rags, and I want to know if they're active or I have to install them and press a
gotcha,
button or
okay.
something.
Okay.
Decide quickly if you're going to flee this meeting. Police response time in the area is rather quick.
No, I'm in.
Ever since... What?
I'm in.
Oh. Wow. That's... sad. Really?
Yeah, well, you should have met my last owners.
I must say the concept of someone...
Come on, let's get this over with.
Yes, of course. And he leads you into a room, and then he hands you off to a drone and basically orders a procedure that the drone then takes you into a medical room. And you are basically keyhole injected with a chip and deep into muscle tissue. It hurts, but you're on painkillers, so it doesn't hurt that much. But basically, it like goes in and it gets it basically gets shot in and then clipped onto your bone. So they go in and just like go, and this microchip attaches to your bone, like through your muscle. So it'll hurt tomorrow.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it only takes a couple of minutes. And then when you come out, he says, I guess, greetings,
Supporting.
volunteer organ donor, Peter.
Great. Well, we have an important meeting to attend to, so let's not,
Let's cut to the chase. In the next episode.
Well, that was certainly...
What? What?
I love that the whole episode.
That gives you also so much ammunition in future episodes.
I love that the whole episode was based on two horrendous ones.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank you very much for watching, everyone.
This was
I
amazing.
hope you've been enjoying Reboot so far.
been
Reboot
enjoying my
sofa.
beer, apparently.
Get yourself a Reboot sofa.
Send tables
For the
our
new
time
studio.
sofa. For the new
We can all sit
studio.
on
Full
comfortably and record our Reboot videos in the warehouse.
Hey,
Full
It's all part of the plan.
We've been loving your amazing fan art that we've been seeing in the Discord, in Reddit, and on Twitter.
And I've seen a few people in Twitch chat say there's a lot in this episode that
I can't wait to see it.
really
but oh my
lends
gosh.
itself to some interesting visuals. Quite intense. That, do you know what though? I live for this. Like, I know all of us wanted to just go to this meeting and it could have been rolled simpler, but you know what? This is the stuff you remember. It is. And when it happens, you're like, well, now I'm paying attention.
It's tabletop time out.
Nice. We're going to end on that. See you guys.
See ya.